So first thing we're going to do is log in, and I'm going to go into my main account. So you can see I have all these questions in here. This is my question bank. You can see here, this shows you how many questions I have left. Clicking this area over here, this little blue plus, blue circle with a plus in it, lets me do single answer, multi-choice plus an option. These two have been tested pretty extensively, multi-choice and single answer. Single answer, you're basically going to ask your question, and the user will be able to input the answer. So you put a question and you give it a description. Multi-choice, similar situation, but you're also going to provide the options up to 10 that they can choose. Multi-choice gives you charts. Single gives you the answers. So I'll show you how those look. So we'll go to my streams. Let's go ahead and go. We'll go to the Angry Jackalope one. All right, so these are some questions that I have. Do you know anyone who got the COVID-19? Options. Those are options I selected. This one is, who do you think will be the next president? Those are the answers. And what would you like to know about me? And what blade would you like to see tested? These were just added in. Let's see, did anybody answer anything in here yet? Oh yeah, some people have. Okay, cool. So we see these are some answers that are in there. As a streamer, you can choose how you want to display the answer. So you can select, and you can say, I want to select this one, and this one, and then save it. Once it's saved, and you actually have some data, then you can go to copy URL as an example. Then I will go ahead and paste that copy answer in. And there I can see the answers. Right? What blade do I see tested? And there are some answers in there. Now, we can embed this. We can embed these into OBS, Streamlab OBS, anything that will take an HTML source. What I mean by that is, here's the stream URL. I'm going to open up another tab, paste it in. So you can see, basically, this one has just the question and then the answers, right? This URL is what you would embed into Streamlabs or one of the other packages as a URL source or HTML source. So that's important to understand that. Now you could also display a browser like this, and you could do like F11, and what that would do is it makes everything go full screen, and now you can see there's nothing to obscure the viewpoint of what it is you're talking about. Or the other option you could do is let's go and look at a different question. Let's go to my streams, go inside of here. Let's go with one of the ones that actually has a chart, so I could show you that one. So this one's a chart. Do you know anyone who got the COVID-19? This is showed as a pie chart. So we have one answer where it says no one. We have 3 that said 1 to 5, that's not bad, and then we have no one with 6 answers. So you can see a vast majority of the people don't know a single person who got one. Now I could change this to a bar chart. So now you can see on the bars the answers. And again, you could take stream URL put it in a source, and then you would basically have, you know, this F11 again. Now we're full screen. There's nothing to obstruct you. You can actually then go under and talk about it. What makes the system unique is you can actually change the data on a, well, not the data, but the presentation on the fly. So inside of here, if I go and change it to pie chart, and I come back over here and refresh this page, now it's a pie chart. You might be wondering, how do you customize the color scheme here? Well, that's actually pretty straightforward too. Inside of Stream Talking, you go back there, you click over here, you go to My Profile. As you're scrolling down your profile here, you'll see two sets of color schemes. First one is Standard Question Color Scheme. What that is that's the question and answers. And then we have the Chart Embedded Color Scheme. So let's say, for example, this light gray right here, or this red background, you wanted this, say we want to go red, white, and blue. So let's go red on the top, white here, and then blue on the footer. Let's just do that one. Okay, so header, let's make it a brighter red. Body, we'll make the body white. And then we go all the way down to the bottom for footer, and we'll make this footer a really deep blue. Go down, click the Save button. Come back over here, refresh this. Red, white, and blue. And what's neat is these are responsive in that I can take the browser, squeeze it in, and it's going to change its core layout down to a certain size. Let's see how far we can get it. That's as far as this browser will go. So there you go. So you could take this, embed this anywhere you wanted to, as long as you know the URL. And again, you get the URL in your stream, and you're looking at the data. Now right now we only have one set. We only have one set of color schemes. So whatever you set here is going to show up on all your questions and all your answers. The only workaround that you could do right now is you could create different streams. So for example, my main stream right here is Robert R. Ricks. So theoretically I could go back, could create one for Angry Jackalope, could create one for Real-Time Story Time, etc. And I kind of did do that. Let me log out. So if you scroll down here, you can see there's a Magic Really Sucks. So I just created a separate one. It could have been under here as a stream, but I just made one dedicated just for this topic. That way I could do a color scheme for it. I could have also gone and did Magic Revelation, Magic Liberation, and Magic Redemption all separate. If you guys want to do that, that's completely fine. That way you have the ability to do different color schemes. So for example, let me log in. Let's take Nut Jobs. So if I go to Nut Jobs, he's got two in here. So let's say for example this one, he wanted color scheme, the color scheme to be light gray, white, and red, but this one he wanted it to be a dark red, black, and some other stuff to make it a little more sinister. Well, unfortunately right now under his settings, just like mine, he only has the one set of color schemes. Now eventually we're going to have individual color schemes per stream, but for right now, for this alpha version, this version 1 of the software, there's only one. So again, the best way for you to handle that would be to create your own channel for something that you wanted to do different colors. So for me, that would have been me making my own profiles, one for stream time, real-time story time, and one for Angry Jackalope. Because you can see they're drastically different in the way that they do the presentations. But for me, I have a show on Saturday and then a show on Sunday. So I could do my color schemes, remember what I have it set for Angry Jackalope, and do one for this. And then that way I could just flip the colors. You know, like I would just go in here, for example, and I already know what colors I'd want to do for real-time story time, which is basically like these colors. And then Angry Jackalope is like these colors. So I could go that way. There's the color schemes. There's things that can get embedded. And in fact, what we'll do is we will just go here. I always run mine as administrator. I read somewhere that that actually helps. Okay, so it finally showed up. I don't even need this. I have this headphone on because I use that on a phone. But anyway, so here we have an example of keyword phrases that were given to me last week. I'm going to turn those off, and I'm going to show you. You basically click here, go to browser source. You'll hit add a source. I always do new one, and let's just say chart. So I add a source. So now I need to go back to my, let's see, is it this guy? Nope. It's this guy. Yep. So I'm going to take this source right here, and then I'm going to put it in here. And this is where you're going to kind of play a little bit. You know, you can say the width on that is fine. Say it needs a little bit more. So let's just say it was a perfect square. And you can see even that is a little too much, but that's fine because there's other things we could do. Now right here, all of this stuff, you don't necessarily have to have any custom CSS in there. So get rid of it. Booyah, there we go. And then you just hit done. Right? Now inside of Streamlabs, I can then take this, put this chart down, 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 down. Let's put it down a little bit further, down a little bit further to right about there. So now you can see my interface. So let's just say, for example, I wanted to toggle this on and off, and for whatever reason I wanted to put it inside of this environment right here. Okay, let's say that that was just appropriate for whatever we're doing. And you can see by me doing it this way, I don't actually have, I can't interact with this, but I think there is a way. Let's see, if I go down here to the chart, right click, interact. So now I have this, so I could interact with it this way, so I can still talk about it and show it. And this is this box right here, this interactive piece, that's not showing on the stream, but what is showing on the stream is what I'm doing there. So that way I can embed it inside, and when I'm done interacting with it, I can turn it off as an example. Now I'm back in the picture. Hey, what's up? And that way you could do it. So let's say I also had this guy on, or let's take the other chart. We'll take the other one. Come in here, for example, come back here, go to my streams. Let's go into this one. And let's see, what would you know about me? Let's see, is there anything in this one? Yeah, we do. We have some. Let's just select one, because I think this would be a good example here. So let's take the stream URL. We're going to go back to our OBS, and let's say again we're creating a browser source, and this one we're going to call this one questions as an example, right? And as a source, come in here, paste it inside of this. Okay, there's that. So I know the height, I don't need a lot of height because I'm just doing the question, so maybe 225. Yep, that's perfect, I think. Yep. And then I'm going to take this out like that. It looks like it still wants a little more on the height, so I'm going to say 250. There we go. No more scroll bar. Perfect. So it's done. So now I want to resize this puppy. Big like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and hold down Alt as I click this so that I can pull this up nice and tight. I think I could do it from the top too. Yep. And then I could do it on the right. All the while I'm just holding down the Alt key. Oops. And then that way, now I let go, I can move it around. So, like I say, the question is, what would you like to know about me? One regret, blah, 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 right? So I can answer that. Well, now, I can go back to here. I could pick second one. So now I know that that's there. So I can go ahead and come back to my stream. And I can say, okay. So, yeah. Okay, so that was that question. Let's go to the next question. There it is. What is your biggest fear? Okay, then I can answer that question. And then while I'm sitting there talking about it, I could again go back over here. And I could pick the next one. Hit save. Boom, there it is. Now I come back over to the stream. And I say, okay, now next question is, how's the leatherworking going? Any new blades? So then I could go ahead and tackle that question. So you can see it's actually pretty neat the way that I could do that. And then I could, of course, have the next thing where it's like this. I could have different ones that come in, different types of questions from different things that I could just kind of cycle through. And it's helpful for me when I'm doing like a live show, because then I can sit and talk about things and not have to sit there and wonder. The other thing that's pretty cool is I could be doing a show like this, and then later on I could refresh a question and there could be live answers that are coming through. All right. So that's the whole embedding part. Now the other thing to take into consideration is, let's see, making questions. You could keep questions, you can get rid of questions, you can go to your stream, go into your stream, and then you could turn these answers off. And now if a viewer goes in there, they're not going to see any of the they're not going to be able to answer the questions anymore. They'll be able to see answers and things like that, be able to see the data, but they won't be able to answer it. So you want to make sure you have your questions enabled. And then everything's up and running. So you can just go in at any time. You can see the data. You can change the way you're displaying it. You could also see these are your streams. These are people who have subscribed to you. You can, boom, like that. Go ahead and see all the different people that have subscribed. And question bank is where you create all your questions. Membership eventually will be there if it's something that you guys want. We're still working on finalizing this for a monthly where your ads are turned off and you have extra questions in your question banks. This is still kind of in the air. If you guys want extra questions right now, you just let me know, and then I'll get some more questions over to you. Instructions. There's actual instructions on how to use it. There's a streamer's guide. You can click on this. These are like, if you don't know how to format your header. There's a header graphic here, profile graphic here. Save. Channel header. Save. Stream header. Save. So if I go to this, there's a streamer's guide with all the information on how it's supposed to be done. Talk about compressing images. You create your account, information, setting up your stream, your questions, how to display your questions, etc. So you see I got quite a bit of information inside of the help guide itself. So that's always available for you guys. I'm updating it as I get more information in. And then of course these are the images. So this one, it's just a template. You can just save it. Same deal with this one. And then same deal with this one. So try to make it easy for you guys as far as going in and setting all your stuff up and then, you know, getting the questions, everything answered. But there you go.